Hey everyone, welcome to the show. So, the January 6th Select Committee is winding down, but they're still interviewing witnesses, or at least they were as of last week. The most recent was Robin Voss. Now, if you haven't heard of him, he's the Wisconsin Assembly Speaker. He was a Trump supporting Republican. However, he refused to cave to Trump's demands to decertify the election in Wisconsin. So, Trump, of course, turned on him. He endorsed his opponent. Well, Voss previously ignored a subpoena to testify before the committee. Now, for some reason, he showed up this past week and he told reporters, quote, "My meeting with the Select Committee was brief and I answered their questions regarding Wisconsin's 2020 presidential election." So he claims, I had nothing to do with January 6th, but I was here to talk about the election. The committee also met last Friday to discuss who, if anyone, they plan to refer to the Justice Department for a criminal referral. That should be interesting. In regard to the DOJ's investigation into Trump and his allies, Trump White House attorneys, Pat Cipollone and Pat Philbin, both appeared before the grand jury again. So these two had met with the grand jury before, but Trump tried to block these men from providing full and complete testimony. So he cited executive privilege to shut them up. But a federal judge recently rejected Trump's executive privilege argument and ordered that these two come in and spill all the tea. He said they had to show up, they had to speak the truth, they had to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, and everything they know. So that testimony must have been interesting as well, given what they've told the Select Committee already, because remember, Cassidy Hutchinson testified that Pat Cipollone was in the Oval Office with Trump and Mark Meadows while the Capitol was under attack. And then when Meadows and Cipollone exited the Oval Office, Hutchinson testified that Cipollone was urging Mark Meadows to do something. And Meadows allegedly, according to Cassidy Hutchinson, said to Cipollone, "You heard him, Pat. He doesn't want to do anything." So I would love to know more because he refused to say anything more about that at the January 6th Select Committee hearing. It was also revealed that the DOJ has issued a subpoena to the documentarian who was at the Capitol on January 6th. He also followed Trump and his children around. This was in the days leading up to and then also following the attack. So he has been now subpoenaed to sit before the grand jury. There's also a new investigation underway into whether or not Trump issued pardons for two men in exchange for campaign donations. So this donation in question was made by a real estate developer, a man named Mike Ingram. He made this donation to a Trump-aligned super PAC, which is called America First Action Incorporated. The pardons, though, were involving two other men, not this real estate developer. This involved two brothers named Dwight and Stephen Hammond. These two were convicted of setting fires on public land after they got caught illegally killing deer on that land. So in 2015, these two men were sentenced to 5 years in prison. Well, on May 25th of 2018, for some reason, Ingram, this real estate developer, he had his assistant email a Trump Interior Department official. And they sent this department official news articles, which made the case for these two Hammond brothers to be pardoned. Then, shortly after that, on July 1st of 2018, a Republican lawmaker tweeted out that Trump was, quote, seriously considering a pardon for these two men. The following day after that tweet went out, July 2nd, Ingram makes a $10,000 donation to this Trump super PAC. And then approximately 1 week later, Trump announces, "Oh, I'm going to go pardon these Hammond brothers." Timing seems a little suspicious, right? And here's the thing. Ingram has already been referred to the Justice Department for another possible bribery scheme involving Trump as well. And it had to do with a permit for one of his real estate developments in Arizona. So in that instance, Ingram and 12 of his associates, people who not necessarily were involved in the real estate deal, but who did business with him or knew him in some way, they all donated almost $250,000 to the Trump Victory Fund and to the Republican National Committee. These donations were made either on the same day or within several days of the government taking a federal action which benefited Ingram's real estate development. This is why we need to get money out of politics. This is why the Supreme Court decision on Citizens United, the conservative justices on the Supreme Court all agreed to push through Citizens United, which allowed this kind of crap to go on. And more. So much dark money and so much like blatant bribery, which has been sanctioned and legalized in our country. So California House member Katie Porter is one of the two Congress members who's investigating all of this. And she said on social media that they've requested documents to try to uncover the facts and get to the bottom of all this. And she also tweeted, quote, "I have zero tolerance for corruption." So there are very few people in Congress who I trust more to handle this properly. So we'll see what happens with this, guys. But yeah, another investigation into Trump and his friends. And this time, the Republican National Committee as well. I'm sure this will probably get shut down, right? I mean, they can still dig around, but I'm sure the committee that they sit on in the House is not going to pick this up and run with it, even if they find blatant corruption, because now the Republicans are taking over. So I'll let you know if I hear any more. Thank you so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, subscribe. Please donate one time, or please sign up for a monthly donation, which really helps to keep the show going. Really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much. Take care, and I'll talk with you soon.